So y'all asked some great questions, which I love, so thank you very much for that. I know I texted you about them, but I also wanted to address them a little bit in the video. Here Scott's just working with Bubbles and Guppy on going outside to get their food for breakfast. So the question was, when Millie returns home, how will y'all get her wiggles out without having access to a dog kennel? Where she can run and play with friends. And so you can do that by going to the dog park, she can still come here and do play days. She can do half days or full days here at the facility and work those in and around your walks. You can also just play in the backyard, throwing objects. I haven't actually seen if she retrieves them, but I know when I throw them, she runs after them. If you have neighborhood dogs or friends that you can get together, just like your children, and do play sessions in the backyard. Anything like that just lets her get her wiggles out. Even if it's just in the backyard by herself, obviously she's not going to get very many wiggles out that way if no one's encouraging her to run or there's no one for her to play with, but it would still count as free play. She still does get to go potty and get to smell and get to work her nose and get to run around if she wanted to. So because she is so highly energetic, we would like for her to play with someone, whether it's you or the dogs, but we know that's not always something that's doable. But on days you can do it, playing with other friends or bringing her to the facility to play are great options. The other question you asked was, how do you do that with working on the bed? It depends on what your day looks like. For us, our biggest chunk of bedtime comes in the evening from about 4 o'clock until about 8 or 9 o'clock. Because that's where my kids are home from school and we're usually just doing things in the house. My husband and I are tag teaming, taking kids places, and we're getting dinner ready, and we're watching a movie that night or playing a family game, or like last night you saw the team members from Rough Life were over here, we were playing Kahoot. So for us, that works best for our schedule is to have the longest chunk be in that evening time frame where we're doing all those things already here in the home. For some people, their longest bedtime comes in the morning because they work from home, and so they do like 2 longer bedtimes. They do a morning chunk, then they go for lunch, and then they do an afternoon chunk, and then the evening's more of a playtime. So really it just depends on you, but you just want to make sure you're doing your free play, training walk, bed, reflect. Free play, training walk, bed, reflect, and you're just wanting to incorporate those into your day. So sometimes my bed is only 20 minutes because I need to get her into reflection so we can go over and play at the kennel while the kennel's open. Or maybe my reflection in the evening, it's always longer, obviously, because we're sleeping, so she goes in at about 9, 10 o'clock, depending on what time we go to bed, and then she comes out at about 7 a.m. That's a really long reflection. Maybe free play would be long if I needed to go to Provo and go to Costco, or maybe it's too cold, and so I want her to be in reflection during that time, so she'd have a longer reflection time during the day. In general, I don't do too long of a reflection time during the day just because I am out and about and she can come with me or she can play in the yard, but you could do that if you needed to. So it's not about how long something lasts. It's not like I do a 2-hour walk, and you have to do this much bedtime. It's really about spreading it out. You don't want everything to be short. I don't want her to live in reflection or live in free play. I really do need her to do those training walks and beds. But it doesn't mean that each time needs to be 5 hours. Maybe one's 20 minutes, maybe one's 2 hours, maybe one is 5 hours. Generally, my day, that's what it looks like. The morning time is generally 20 to 45 minutes. And then the afternoon one is an hour, hour and a half, and then my evening one is that good 4 to 5 hour chunk. So it doesn't have to be a specific amount of time. I generally like my afternoon walks to be my longest walk, just because that's where it works great in my day. The mornings are harder because we're getting the kids ready for school, and the evenings, they're light now, but they weren't light, and sometimes we're like I said, that's my time to practice the bed with her so that I can play with the kids and stuff. So really, it just depends on what your schedule looks like. So if you still have questions about that, kind of tell me what your day looks like and I can break it down for you and tell you what it could look like for you. But the cool thing about this program is that it's a lifestyle change where you're continually training, but you're not actually adding hours into your day for training. You're just training while you're living life. So ask me questions about that. I think I answered the questions you sent me. If not, text me again and I will readdress them again.